Welcome back to Common Core 1.3 Part B. But before we begin, how about a nice relaxing song? Ha ha! So let's get back to what we were doing before. Remember that this is the same when we were multiplying. Remember we had coefficients, we had variables, and now we have more than one. We've kind of done that in the past, but let's take a look here. We have a whole lot happen. We have 8c to the 5th, 9c to the 3rd, 4c to the 7th, 2d to the 5th, a lot happening. So remember, multiply, well first we're going to make sure they're all positive. So okay, it's going to be a positive answer. We know this. Now take 8 times 9 times 4 times 2. You might need to calculate. Fine if you do. Combine the c's, then, well, the d's by itself. And notice what I did here. I put all the coefficients right here so I can multiply into 576. I put the c's all together. I said, okay, c to the 3rd, c to the 5th, c to the 7th. I combined those to make 15, and d to the 15 just stays there. Now you try, go ahead and combine this whole thing. Now it's going to be kind of difficult. Remember, just to figure out positive or negative, go ahead and figure out when you multiply, and go ahead and combine the f's, g's, i's, and whatever else. Go ahead. Let's see what you've got. 6 times a half makes 3, times 3, times 5, times 3, times 2. Looks like a lot. Let me give you a little shortcut here. The hardest part was taking 6 times a half and making 3. How did I do that, by the way? Well, I took, remember, 6 times the top divided by the bottom. So 6 times 1 is 6, divided by 2 is 3. That's how I cancel that. 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 2 makes 10. Then times 3. Why don't you just take 3 times 9 and make 27? And anytime you times by 10, you can just add a 0. So through all that, I figured out that all those numbers combined were 270, and I don't think that you would have much difficulty if you did it in that order. Now let's combine the f's. Well, I have f to the 5th, f to the 3rd, so I'm going to combine them two to make f to the 8th. And again, if the letters aren't in order, that's fine. I'm going alphabetical. I to the 7th, I to the 2nd makes I to the 9th. J to the 15th, j to the negative 2nd, remember 15 plus negative 2 or 15 minus 2 makes j to the 13th. That's not a very good looking j, but it's 270, f to the 8th, I to the 9th, j to the 13th, and on to the next page. Skills practice. Go ahead and give this a try, please. Try these two. Let's see how you did. Hopefully you got 960, a to the 20th, c to the negative 2nd, u to the 2nd. For now, we'll keep the negative on top. We'll have a process for later, but for right now, that's fine. And here we have this. I hope you got both. Now from the book. Now this is a book that you don't have. This is Algebra 1's book. But if you want to see it at school tomorrow, I can certainly show you. But we're going to take this combined here, and what they're saying is that you multiply the negative 3 and the positive 4 to make negative 12. Combine the x's to make x to the 7th. You've done this too. Also some stuff like this. Remember, negative 2 b to the 5th c times negative 3 b to the 3rd c squared. Negative times negative is a positive. 2 times 3 is 6. b to the 5th, b to the 3rd makes b to the 8th. c and c squared makes c to the 3rd. We just combine. Go ahead, you try. Let's see how you did. Did you get negative 72? I'm going to go with c first. c to the 9th, j to the 5th, r to the 5th. Hopefully you did. Skills practice. Go ahead and give this a try. Let's see how you did. Negative 10 e squared, g to the 6th, k to the 9th, ar cubed, u to the 9th, v to the 14th, lower rider to the 5th. And on to the next page. Now try these. Multiply, expressed using exponents. So go ahead and try these here. This looks kind of weird, I admit. We're going to talk about this. Now, what we're going to do is we'll just take 9 to the 5th, because there's 5 9s total. Even though it's a fraction, so what? 2 and 9 make 11. Here, negative 2 times negative 8 makes positive 16. You don't have to put a positive. I just did it for your benefit. And m to the first and m to the fifth makes m to the sixth. We're going to do some of these in class, so again, do not fret that. And remember, x to the fourth, x to the negative second, when you're combining those, remember positive and negative together, you just take 4 minus 2, or 4 plus negative 2. So again, we've done all that. You try, go ahead. 8 minus 2 makes 6. And 9 minus 4 is 5 to the negative third for now. Skills practice. Let me drop this here. There are 7 of them. Go ahead and try it this time. Take a look here. Everything seems to be in order. The last one, Angelina is 2 to the third years old. That's 2 times 2 times 2, which makes 8. And her father is 2 to the third, or 8 times her age. How old is her grandfather? Well, you could either say 2 to the sixth, or take 8 times 8. Either way, you get 64. Now remember, quotients are powers. Now we're going to start doing some weird stuff here. If you remember, you have 3 to the seventh and 3 to the third. Now, if you have a case where you have something on top versus bottom, so let's say you have 7 3's on top and 3 3's in the bottom. You fight it out. Who's got more, 7 or 3? Top wins by 4, so it's 3 to the fourth. You might remember that from a previous part. And remember that this is deep in the Algebra 1 book, so if you're having trouble, please don't get upset. You will get this in time. And notice, you see here, the algebra version looks a little more complicated, but it's not. It's just the same stuff. So here, 4 to the 8th over 4 to the 2nd, 8 versus 2, top wins by 6. 9 versus 4, top wins by 5. So you try these 3. Okay, but let me throw a caveat in there. I'm going to show you the last one. The first one, top wins by 3. Okay. Second one, top wins by 7. This one, you're going to draw a line in between. Just take 12 divided by 2, not 12 versus 2, because they're just coefficients. They run under a different plan. And yes, we're going to do multiple examples tomorrow. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and top wins by 6, because 12 versus 2, and you're dividing, not minusing. But here, w to the fifth versus w to the first, top wins by 4. So really, you just have 6w to the fourth over 1, or just 6w to the fourth. That's complicated. We're going to get to them. So skills practice. Try these here, these 4. Everything from regular numbers to H to rocket ships to cute little bunnies. Go ahead and try. Well, the way I see it, you got 7 to the third. Bottom wins by 7. That's why it's 1 over 3 to the 7th. Third one, H to the third, top wins. Fourth one, 35 versus 5. 7 wins on top, but rocket ship wins on bottom by 6. So 7's on top, rocket ship over 6 on the bottom. And again, I know we're kind of jumping ahead here. We'll do some together. And finally, 16 versus 2 is 8. Now, a new thing happens here. 23 versus negative 3, top wins, but by how many? Well, since you have a negative, basically, notice when you have 6 versus 3, you have 6 minus 3. And here, 9 wins by 2, so 9 minus 2 is 7. And 6 minus 3 makes 3, and so on. But here you have 23 minus negative 3, but you know 2 negatives that touch make a positive, so top's going to win by 26. And again, we'll do some examples on the board tomorrow. So this is what we're talking about, this exact one. 6 to the 9th and 6 over negative 3. Well, here you have that exact example. You have 6 to the 9th, and it's versus negative 3, so 6 to the 9th minus a negative 3. 2 negatives touch make a positive, and 9 plus 3 is 12. Here's how it works. Remember when you have 6 to the 9th over 6 to the 3rd, and I know I'm kind of repeating myself, but I really want to hit this and nail it. 9 minus 3, which makes 6 to the 6th, because you had 9 minus 3. But what really happens is what it really means is 9 minus negative 3, so you have 6 to the 12th. And what's the difference? Because now you have negative 3 and not positive 3, so it's 9 minus negative 3. 2 negatives touch make a positive, and so you have that. And the other way is simply a negative exponent can be reversed and flipped. Now this is going to be, again, weird new territory. But if you have a negative exponent, you can simply switch from bottom to top or top to bottom. So what you're doing is I'm adding 3 to both sides to make this go away, because negative 3 and positive 3 cancel. I prefer, though, just you move it up. So you have 6 to the 9th times 6 to the 3rd, which makes 6 to the 12th. This isn't wrong, but this is more for Algebra 1. It might complicate things. I was just adding the same exponent to make it go away. Either way, you get 6 to the 12th. So whichever way you need to get it done, no problem. This was the easier way I was mentioning, was just to go ahead and flip it up. And as you flip it, the only thing is when you move it from bottom to top, it just changes the negative exponent to a positive. So this becomes times 6 to the 3rd power, and 9 plus 3 makes 12. Negative exponent flips positions. And again, this is definitely tougher stuff. So expect to work on this for a day or two. That we might slow down a little bit for this, and that's okay. You know, it's going to take as long as it takes. I don't care if this takes 1 day or 3. This will be on Common Core, and you'll be ready for it. So go ahead and do what you try here. These 3, go ahead. Let's see how you did. Hopefully you know that this went up. So plus 8, and you're going to get 12 to the 16th power. This is going to go up 13 more to make C versus 36. And here this Superman one goes up to plus 32. Until you have Superman, and you're going to make it 123. Superman to the 123rd. Go ahead and try these 3 on the skills practice. Okay. This moved up to make y 15 to the 21st. This moved up to make y square, and the flag moves up 22 to make flag to the 55th. Oh, there's another part here. Excuse me. Try these 3 as well. Okay, let's take a look. M to the 12th, 22 goes up to make M to the 34, 16 goes up to make W to the 23rd, and Stallion goes up 65 to make Stallion to the 121st. And now the reverse. So this negative flips again, but this time it goes down because it's to the negative 5. To get rid of that, we're going to put 3 to the 5th down here. So it's going to go away basically. Now you could just add 5 to both if you want, make 3 to the 17 this way. Adding to the 0 power is 1. Or simply just move this. Well, there I made it more complicated. This was for Algebra 1, excuse me. I just went ahead and minus 12 to both and turned this into 3 to the 0, which made 1, which made 3 to the negative 17, which makes 1 over 3 to the 17. But that's complicated. Let's just do the KISS rule and keep it simple. How about this for simple? The simple way would be doing this. You have negative 5, it goes down, you add 5. So 3 to the 5th as well to make 3 to the 17. 1 over because it's on the bottom. Skills practice, but I think I should work with you on these. If you want to pause and go ahead, there's these 3, and then there's these 3 you can pause. But let me walk you through the results here. For this one, the 15 goes down, so 5 plus 15 makes 20. It's on the bottom. This 25 goes down to combine with 8 to make 1 over 8 to the 33rd. This actually goes up, trying to trick you, because down goes to top. Add 12 to make 12 over to 35. 12 to the 35th, excuse me. These here goes down, 1 over 2 to the 10th. This goes, actually this doesn't go up or down, they fight it out because they're both positive. So here they fight it out, top wins by 22. And this one, the 8 goes down to make 1 over 23 to the 20th. Now I'm betting that your brain's probably pretty full after this. So we're going to stop here, we'll pick it up again tomorrow. Thanks again, bye.